Fake stories travel fast, especially in the NFL, and especially when they target a rookie trying to prove himself. That's exactly what happened this week when a false article claimed that Dallas Cowboys rookie running back Jaden Blue was being criticized internally for his work ethic. The article spread quickly across social media, with just enough credibility in its phrasing to make some fans wonder if there was any truth to it. But Jaden Blue wasted no time. He fired back on X, calling the story fake as hell. That one sentence was enough to send Cowboys Nation into a frenzy, and not in the way the rumor mongers probably expected. Now, if you missed the drama, here's the breakdown. The article didn't come from any verified source. It was posted on a site that often publishes aggregated or AI-generated NFL content, and it didn't include any named coaches, teammates, or insider quotes. Just vague wording suggesting concerns inside the organization. That's the oldest trick in the book. No source, no accountability, just controversy dressed up to look like a scoop. Blue's reaction made it clear he's not going to sit quietly while people try to drag his name through the mud. And honestly, good for him. In this league, especially as an undrafted rookie, reputation matters. A false narrative can follow a player longer than you'd think. And when that narrative hits before you even take your first training camp snap, it's even more damaging. The craziest part, some fans believed it, and that's the real danger here, not just for Jaden, but for every player. The speed at which false stories spread has changed the way teams and athletes have to respond. In the past, a coach might address it in a press conference. Now, the players have to fire off a tweet to stop a lie before it snowballs. So here's a question for you. Have you ever seen a fake story about a Cowboys player that you believed at first? Be honest, I think we've all been fooled once or twice. Drop your answer in the comments and let's talk about it. And if you're someone who appreciates players standing up for themselves and calling out fake news when they see it, do me a favor, hit that like button. Every thumbs up helps push back against the nonsense and supports the real voices in Cowboys Nation. Let's take a step back and really get to know the guy at the center of this drama, because if you're just now hearing Jaden Blue's name, you're not alone. But if you're a fan of the underdog story, you're gonna want to remember it. Jaden Blue is a Houston native who turned heads in high school football circles early. He was one of the top running back recruits in the country and had every major college program chasing him. He committed to the University of Texas and came with sky-high expectations. But like a lot of young talents, his journey didn't go exactly as planned. Texas had a crowded backfield, and while Blue showed flashes of that explosiveness that made him a household name, in Houston, he didn't get the kind of feature role that lets you rack up jaw-dropping numbers. Still, he stayed the course. He stayed with the program, kept working, and made the most of every opportunity he got. He's a shifty, instinctive runner with solid vision and the kind of burst that jumps out on tape. And most importantly, he's never been the kind of guy who causes locker room problems or takes plays off. That's why the fake report about his work ethic felt so out of left field. Didn't line up with anything people had seen or heard about the kid. Now he's landed in Dallas, trying to earn a spot in one of the most competitive backfields in the league. He's not a first-round pick. He's not a household name. But Jaden Blue is a classic Cowboys project raw talent, a lot to prove, and no shortage of motivation. So let me ask you something. Did you know about Jaden Blue before this fake news came out? Be real, because for a lot of fans, this might have been their first introduction to him. But now that you do know his story, keep an eye on him as training camp gets underway. And hey, if you're the kind of fan who loves keeping tabs on these young prospects that nobody's talking about yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're pushing for 15,000 strong, and your support means everything to this growing Cowboys community. So how does something like this even happen? How does a completely made-up story about a rookie's work ethic issues get enough traction that it ends up on fans' feeds, podcasts, maybe even locker room conversations? Welcome to the world of viral misinformation where speed beats facts every time. The fake Jaden Blue article didn't come from a credible Cowboys insider. It didn't come from any of the beat reporters who cover the team day in and day out. It came from one of those sites that thrives on vague headlines, half-truths, and AI-generated blurbs stitched together to look like real reporting, the piece claimed. There were concerns within the organization about Blue's effort level without citing a single coach, scout, or teammate. That's a red flag, but for casual fans scrolling through social media, it looked just believable enough. Here's the thing: NFL fans crave information 24/7, especially in the off-season. And with the rise of AI writing tools and aggregation farms, we're getting flooded with more content than ever. But more doesn't always mean better. What it does mean is that players are now battling false narratives before they've even suited up. Jaden Blue saw the story going around, and he didn't just ignore it, he addressed it head-on. That's the new standard in today's league. You have to protect your brand, your image, and your future before some blog poisons the well. What's dangerous is how quickly these stories get momentum. A fake headline pops up, a few accounts quote it, a couple of YouTubers mention it, and suddenly people think it's real. No fact-checking, no second source, just a bunch of noise. So I want to ask you, do you think the NFL should step in more aggressively when misinformation like this spreads? Should there be systems in place to protect players from this kind of reputational hit? And here's a quick vote: when you first saw the story about Jaden, did you think it might be true? Yes or no? Be honest in the comments. No judgment here. We've all been there, and if you're still with me, hit that like button to push back against the clickbait hand. Let's keep building a Cowboys fan base that knows how to separate fact from fiction. Now let's talk about why this stuff isn't just a headline or social media drama. It actually matters inside the locker room. When fake stories like the one about Jaden Blue start circulating, they can do serious damage to team chemistry and player morale. Think about it. The NFL is a business built on trust and teamwork. Players depend on each other every day, and the last thing a rookie needs is false rumors, undermining his reputation before he's even had a fair shot. Veterans know this, which is why you often hear them stepping up to defend younger teammates when misinformation goes viral. It's about protecting the culture and making sure distractions don't take over. For Jaden, this fake story could have been a major distraction. It might have made coaches second-guess him or put unnecessary pressure on him to prove himself beyond just his performance on the field. And for a rookie fighting for a roster spot, that kind of mental strain is the last thing he needs. The good news is that Jaden handled it the right way. He didn't let it fester or create a stink in the locker room. Instead, he publicly shut it down and showed confidence. That kind of mentality earns respect from teammates and coaches alike. It sends a message that you're here to work, not drama. It also shines a light on the importance of media literacy for players and fans. The team staff and players are aware that the internet is full of noise, and they have to filter through what's real and what's not. But the pressure still exists, especially when stories go viral overnight. Here's something for you to think about. If you were in Jaden Blue's shoes, how would you respond to a fake story like this? Would you speak out immediately or let it slide and focus on football? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you'd handle that kind of pressure, and if you respect how Jaden handled the situation, standing up for himself without letting the drama take over. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It's the kind of attitude that Cowboys fans can get behind. So what's the takeaway for Cowboys Nation after all this? Jaden Blue's response to the fake work ethic story tells us something important, not just about him, but about what it takes to make it in Dallas. He didn't back down, didn't get defensive or flustered. Instead, he stood tall and called out the nonsense, showing a maturity beyond his years. That kind of attitude might be exactly what the Cowboys need from a rookie trying to crack the roster. This situation also reminds us how important it is as fans to stay sharp and not swallow everything we see online. The NFL is filled with rumors, half-truths, and clickbait designed to get reactions. If we want to support our team and players, we have to be smarter than that. Always look for the facts, question the sources, and don't let fake news divide our community. And let's be honest, the Cowboys training camp is right around the corner, and stories like this are just the warm-up. Jaden Blue is one to watch, but there are plenty of other young players battling for spots who might find themselves in the headlines soon. We'll be here breaking down every development, giving you the real scoop, and cutting through the noise. Before I let you go, I want to ask, do you think Jaden Blue will make the final Cowboys roster this year? Hit yes or no in the comments and let's see what the community thinks. If you want to keep getting honest, no fluff updates on Cowboys news and training camp battles, make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell. We're growing fast and your support means everything as we chase that 15,000 subscriber milestone. Thanks for hanging out today. Stay tuned. Cowboys fans, there's plenty more coming your way.